So with Arsenal having confirmed the transfer of Ben White, it seems as if they have turned their attentions to a brand new centre forward. So today, what has David Ornstein said on Inter Milan striker Lautaro Martinez? Also, what is the latest today on the James Maddison potential transfer? Let's discuss in today's episode of The Transfers FC. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bows14 and welcome back to your boys channel. As per, I'd massively appreciate if you guys can go down there and smash a like on the video, and while you are down there, please do consider subscribing to the boys channel, because we are less than 9,000 away from being as big as the Emirates Stadium. But let's get straight into the transfers, and starting off with Lautaro Martinez. He is an Argentine, he plays for Inter Milan, the Serie A champions, and he's a player quite clearly on Arsenal's radar. This was broken a few days ago by Pete O'Rourke, who confirmed that Arsenal had entered negotiations for Lautaro Martinez while discussing the transfer of Hector Bellerin. But as you boys said at the time, I was still very skeptical. But then saying that today, a certain Mr. David Ornstein has given us information. As he says, in speaking with Inter Milan about Hector Bellerin, Arsenal inquired on Lautaro Martinez. The 23-year-old striker, contract until 2023, is for sale, and Arsenal are thought to have mentioned Lacazette, but Inter need cash, plus hope it helps them keep Chelsea target Lukaku. So there and there, the reliable Mr. David Ornstein has confirmed not only if Arsenal negotiated, started talking and inquired about Lautaro Martinez, but Inter Milan have made it clear the player is in fact for sale. They need the money, and they need the money quickly, and it's money that of course Arsenal could potentially provide if they were to buy Martinez. But is the player really interested in joining Arsenal Football Club? Or in that same report from David Ornstein, it says it is thought that Lautaro would be interested in a move to Arsenal if Inter want to sell him. However, an Arsenal move for him may be reliant on the departure of Alexandre Lacazette. It is believed his name would be mentioned to Inter, but they are thought to only want cash. That first part is all I needed to hear, was that Lautaro Martinez is open to signing for Arsenal Football Club, and of course he is. I forget sometimes how gargantuan our club is. In terms of the deal itself, the Athletic claim that sources have indicated that Lautaro would be a simple deal for Arsenal in terms of negotiating with his club. Inter just need an acceptable offer on the table for a deal to be done. This, my friends, is a definition of an RKO out of nowhere. The thought of Lautaro to Arsenal has never even entered your boy's head. Not only was I skeptical if the player wanted to come to Arsenal in the first place, but also in terms of other clubs, rival clubs that also would love to see Martinez at their clubs. But in a COVID-struck market where teams don't have money, our football club in Arsenal somehow in some way have the cash, and quite clearly it is of interest to Lautaro Martinez and Inter Milan. Even the reliable Demarcio have confirmed that Arsenal have inquired about Lautaro Martinez. So that is now two reliable sources that have both confirmed Arsenal's interest in the player, and Demarcio have also claimed that Inter have already begun search for replacements. Obviously they want to keep Lautaro, but given the possibility that a real hunt for the Argentine jewel is starting, they have identified Joaquin Correa. This again is a positive for Arsenal in this transfer saga, because the fact that Inter looking for replacements tells me they understand this player and Lautaro Martinez is most likely going to leave. In terms of the price tag, Italian source Gazzettino claimed that Inter Milan have set a £60 million price tag on Lautaro Martinez. So if £60 million is the price tag, the question for Arsenal is, do they have the funds available to bring a Martinez to Arsenal, as well as what's going to be most likely an expensive attacking midfielder? But with Martinez, he of course is a striker in demand, so what other teams want him? According to Argentine source TNT Sports, Diego Simeone has his eye on Lautaro Martinez as he tops Atletico Madrid's list of options given the difficulties involved in the Griezmann deal. They could make a decisive move in the next few days. But TNT Sport also mentioned that Arsenal have a bit more financial power than Atleti, and a transfer fee will be between 50 to 65 million pounds. Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal for a centre forward. This sounds pretty familiar, because the last time this happened it was for a race, because the last time this happened was for a certain Alexandre Lacazette. And while we're talking Mr. Lacazette, it is worth noting that Mark Ogden reported Athletic's interest in Lacazette. Let me make it abundantly clear, if Arsenal want to sign Lautaro Martinez, they need to sell Alexandre Lacazette. Arsenal will not sign this player if they can't get Lacazette out of the door and his wages. Freddie Paxson points out Lautaro Martinez shares the same agent as Ashraf Hakimi. Speaking to him in the past about Hakimi potentially coming to London, which was ultimately not possible, it was clear that he has good dialogue with Arsenal. Can't help but hope that could benefit in negotiations for Martinez. So Martinez and Hakimi both share the same agent, and that agent of course did speak to the AFC Bell a few months ago. As Mr. Alejandro Camano said, "I love Arsenal, but none of the officials there have spoken to us yet, so I don't think Hakimi is a target for them this summer, and in any case this kind of deal is complicated and not easy." Now we didn't quite get Hakimi, but as you can see there, his agent is a fan of Arsenal and quite clearly has a good connection with the club and its officials. But all in all, there you guys go, quite a lot of summaries about Lautaro Martinez, and despite David Ornstein reporting it, I am still very skeptical of the transfer itself. But what's your own thoughts on Lautaro Martinez, and would you be open to seeing a £60 million outlay on the striker to Arsenal? Are you for it or are you against it? Okay then, moving on, let's discuss a certain James Maddison. He plays for Leicester City, but of course him being an attacking midfielder, he has become of interest to Arsenal Football Club. Today, a Leicester-based source in Leicester Live claimed that James Maddison is still a target for Arsenal, with Mikel Arteta keen on the player. Leicester City don't want or need to sell Maddison, however the club are no strangers to selling key players for big money if the offer is right. They have confirmed what we already know. The Daily Express in the UK also claimed that Maddison is wanted by Arsenal over Odegaard, despite claims the Real Madrid star is beginning to consider his future at the Bernabeu. And while we are speaking about a certain Martin Odegaard, it is also being confirmed today by a reliable Real Madrid source that he most likely is going to stay and fight for his place at the Bernabeu this season. So with Odegaard looking to stay at Real Madrid, that only leaves James Maddison. There aren't many other attacking midfielders on the market right now that are somewhat available that are of interest to Arsenal Football Club. And in terms of the money, Arsenal have shown they have that and they can offer it. As you can see with the transfers of Ben White and the potential transfer over Lautaro Martinez, we, my friends, have the money and we can put it on the table. And in terms of the player himself, he was not involved in the squad of Leicester City as they played QPR in a pre-season friendly. But alas, it was not because of a potential transfer, but more because Maddison's wife was giving birth to Maddison's child. So a big congratulations to Big Maddis on becoming a father. But in terms of the transfer itself, Arsenal and Leicester are confirmed in negotiations, and hopefully a bid is incoming very soon. And I really do hope that is the case, because we cannot leave this transfer for too late. Leicester City are a very well organised club, and they would not let a key player like James Maddison leave the team too late and not give them time to get a replacement. And so my friends, how serious Arsenal are about James Maddison, we are going to find out within the next few days. Arsenal have confirmed today that Granit Xhaka has returned to training with the team, and the fact that Xhaka is back now and his Roma transfer is not finalised is just very jarring. And Corriere dello Sport in Italy today claim pessimism is growing to bring Granit Xhaka to AS Roma. Arsenal continue to ask for €25 million plus bonuses for Xhaka. Roma willing to review the initial offer of €15 million but can't pay more than €10 million. Roma will wait until mid-August, then turn to Thomas Delaney. I seriously don't know what more Arsenal can do in this transfer saga. In my opinion, I think Arsenal have set more than a reasonable price tag on the player, and so therefore right now I don't have a Scooby-Doo what Arsenal are going to do with Granit Xhaka. Are they going to look to keep him and give him a brand new 2-year contract extension? And if that is the case, does that leave funds available for number 10 and a centre forward? Or do we sell Xhaka and look to invest in a brand new replacement instead? But if it came down to you right now watching this video, would you sell Xhaka and look to buy a replacement, or keep the money there and invest it in a brand new number 10 and a centre forward? The Chronicle Live claimed that Joe Willock remains keen on a Newcastle switch and the chance to prove himself in the Premier League in a season where he is aiming to put himself in contention for England's World Cup 2022 squad. Personally, I do believe that Joe Willock will end up back on loan at Newcastle United, and I think what Arsenal are looking for is a decent little loan fee in return. Now, I don't know if that loan will include an option or an obligation to buy, and I also don't know if Arsenal see him a part of our long-term plans in the future. Moving into the forward, is he going to be a key midfielder for Arsenal Football Club? But hey, in terms of a certain Leicester City, let's just say Arsenal were to sign James Maddison and you guys needed a replacement, then here we have a certain Joe Willock, who is a great goal scoring midfielder who's 21 years of age and has fantastic potential, and he also passes the BAVS 14 test, and that final part is the key part. But let me know your own thoughts down below on Joe Willock, and what do you think Arsenal should look to do with the player in this transfer window. Okay, then moving on to the other Arsenal news today. First things first, we have official photo of Mr. Benjamin White in Arsenal trading. As you guys can see today, he took part in his first training session as an Arsenal player at London Colney this morning. Videos of him talking with Kieran Tierney, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding. It seems like Mr. Ben White has fitted in pretty fine at Arsenal Football Club. And now the question really is he going to play in tomorrow's pre-season game against Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium? Personally, your boys' fingers are crossed, and I really do hope so, and that is mainly because I am going to be at that game myself. Not only will it be good to see Ben White live and direct, but also to get him minutes going into our first Premier League game against Brentford. Aidan J. Wood says, as per The Athletic, Arsenal have told Ben White's representatives they hope to welcome further new transfers this summer following the arrival of the England international. Now this was in the Athletic's article when Ben White signed, and this is very interesting. Having signed Lokonga, Tavares and Ben White, the Athletic are claiming that Arsenal have told Ben White's people that we are going to sign more players and more substantial players. The question now really is, who are those players going to be? Is it meant to be the transfers of Lautaro Martinez and James Maddison, or will Arsenal come up with a cheeky little surprise? But with now 1 month officially left of the window, who else do you want to see Arsenal sign in this transfer window? Let's be talking some transfers down below. But that is the latest video there and there. If you have enjoyed, make sure to smash a like on it, and while you are down there, please do consider subscribing to the boys channel. If you want to follow the boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest episode of the Transfers FC. I hope you have enjoyed, and in terms of James Maddison, Lautaro Martinez, Arsenal, stop giving me the RKOs and give me some more transfers. I will see you guys soon in a bit.